In 1870, a 31-year-old man in Cleveland, Ohio, controlled just 4% of America's oil refining. 10 years later, by 1880, he controlled 90%. By 1904, he controlled 91% of oil production and 85% of final sales. In doing so, he created the blueprint for nearly every monopoly that exists today. His name was John D. Rockefeller. When Standard Oil was broken up in 1911, many people believed his power ended. It did not. The corporate systems he created did not disappear. They adapted, expanded, and now shape your daily life in 2025. The gasoline you buy, the medicine you take, the technology platforms you use, the food you eat, the banks you depend on, all of them follow the same strategy Rockefeller perfected. Vertical integration, horizontal consolidation, control of regulators, tax-free foundations that influence policy, market dominance so strong that real competition cannot survive. Rockefeller did not just build an oil company, he designed the structure of modern corporate control, and you cannot escape it, because the system is no longer Standard Oil. The system is the method. That method has been copied for 150 years by every powerful corporation. Amazon uses it, Google uses it, Pfizer uses it, JP Morgan uses it. They all follow the same design, the Rockefeller blueprint. Control the supply chain from top to bottom, remove competitors side by side, influence the regulators, use charity to gain public trust, and when the government finally steps in, make sure the pieces left behind are worth more than the original company. This is how Rockefeller became the richest man in history. This is why breaking up Standard Oil made him even richer, and this is why, more than a century later, you still live inside the world he created. Understanding this system is not academic, it is about survival. The system is built to pull wealth upward and concentrate it at the top. Once you understand how it works, you will start seeing it everywhere. John Davidson Rockefeller was born on July 8, 1839, in Richford, New York. His father was a traveling con artist who sold fake cancer cures. His mother was a deeply religious Baptist. These two influences shaped Rockefeller completely. From his father, he learned ruthlessness. From his mother, he gained absolute moral certainty. Rockefeller believed he was chosen by God to bring order to industry. He destroyed competitors without mercy, while believing his actions were morally right. To him, monopoly was not evil. It was righteous. It replaced chaos with efficiency and waste with discipline. In 1859, oil was discovered in Titusville, Pennsylvania. The oil rush exploded. Thousands rushed in to drill. Fortunes were made and lost overnight. Prices crashed from overproduction, then surged from shortages. It was total chaos. At the time, Rockefeller was 20 years old, working as a bookkeeper in Cleveland. He saw opportunity not in drilling, which depended on luck, but in refining. Turning crude oil into kerosene for lamps was the real business. In 1863, Rockefeller invested $4,000 in his first refinery. Within 2 years, it became the largest refinery in Cleveland. But Cleveland had 30 refineries. Competition was brutal. Most businesses were barely surviving. Rockefeller did not try to compete fairly. He decided to eliminate competition completely. This decision became the foundation of modern corporate America. The first weapon was vertical integration. Most refineries handled only one step of the process. Rockefeller chose to control every step. He bought barrel factories. He owned tank cars. He built warehouses. He controlled distribution and sales. Every profit center that once belonged to someone else was absorbed into his company. This gave him massive cost advantages. While competitors paid high prices for barrels and shipping, Rockefeller produced everything cheaper. Railroads gave him secret rebates. They charged his competitors more while paying Rockefeller to ship oil. This was not just efficiency, it was predatory. Rockefeller could sell below cost, bankrupt rivals, and still make money. And that is exactly what he did. In 1870 he formed Standard Oil of Ohio. At that time, he still controlled only 4% of refining. That was not enough. So he launched the next phase, horizontal integration. If vertical integration controls the supply chain, horizontal integration destroys competitors. In 1872, Rockefeller carried out what historians call the Cleveland Massacre. He approached every refinery owner in the city. He offered to buy them if they accepted. They were paid fairly and often kept their jobs. If they refused, Rockefeller launched price wars that guaranteed their failure. Most sold. Those who resisted were crushed. Within 3 months, Rockefeller controlled 25 of Cleveland's 26 refineries. His share of American refining jumped from 4% to 25%. This became the permanent strategy: buy competitors or bankrupt them and buy what remains. This method spread to every industry for the next 150 years. Rockefeller expanded nationwide using the same tactics: secret railroad deals, lower costs through vertical integration, aggressive price wars. By 1879, Standard Oil controlled 90% of American refining. But Rockefeller knew monopolies face two problems: they are illegal, and they are hated. So he invented a solution: the trust. In 1882, lawyers created the Standard Oil Trust. It allowed Rockefeller to control companies across state lines without directly owning them. 41 shareholders controlled everything. This structure became the model for all future trusts. The trust evolved into the modern holding company, one parent company controlling many subsidiaries. Today's corporations are direct descendants of this idea. By 1904, Standard Oil controlled nearly all oil production and sales. Rockefeller became the richest man alive. At his peak, his wealth equals hundreds of billions today. Public anger grew. Journalists exposed his tactics. In 1911, the Supreme Court ordered Standard Oil broken into 34 companies, but Rockefeller still owned shares in all of them. The breakup made him richer. Competition increased value. The monopoly was not destroyed, it was reorganized. Most of those companies later merged back together. Exxon, Chevron, and BP are the modern descendants of Standard Oil. The real legacy was not oil, it was the system. Today, Amazon controls retail, logistics, payments, and cloud infrastructure. Google uses a holding company structure. Pharmaceutical companies shape regulations. Banks use the same corporate shells Rockefeller invented. Rockefeller also pioneered philanthropic foundations. These avoided taxes, shaped education and medicine, and bought public approval. Modern billionaires copied this model exactly. The system is invisible, self-sustaining, and nearly impossible to escape. You buy from it, you depend on it, you live inside it. The system delivers efficiency and low prices, but it concentrates wealth at the top. Both are true. You have three choices: accept it, fight it, or understand it and position yourself within it. Rockefeller understood one truth: systems outlive people. He built a structure that survived him and continues to shape the world. The system is vertical integration, horizontal consolidation, regulatory control, and philanthropic influence. It began with Standard Oil. Now it defines the modern economy. You cannot escape it. You can only see it.